All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, buddy. I'm doing great. Hope you are too, and everybody else in the room as well.
All right, excellent. All right, guys, we had a pretty interesting day yesterday. I want to go over some of the stuff we had on watch here. Let me just switch over to that here. Here we go. So again, we had a pretty good list. A lot of the stuff was a little bit choppy though. Let's start with Oracle on our list this morning. That was the first one we had on deck yesterday. Let's scroll in here to yesterday's action. 922 be right in here. So again, a pretty rough start for Oracle yesterday. Very choppy, not a whole lot of volume neither. I didn't like the price action, so I stopped looking at it pretty early on. It did get better later on as the day kept going here. Look at the beautiful drop it got here, following some of these moving averages. Found a nice base here at 59.46. So it traded very well, but it was a slow mover for sure. So you had to sit in here in this price action to get some of these moves. So again, pretty nice trade here into the end of the day. But the morning here, the opening range and everything like that was not all that great. But again, did trade well if you were patient and sat in on it. Here's an INO. INO also a little bit of a rough start as well. Didn't trade all that clean. Eventually, it did settle down here about an hour, 30 minutes in. And you got this beautiful drop happening here. Also, look at the loss of low of the day here as well. That was nice. And then from there, it continues to drop nicely. So again, pretty well start if you're looking for and a quick entry here for open range breakdown or up on the 5 or 15, but then it does trade very nice after that. Also, again, found a beautiful base here for those are trading into later into the day, and you can see here the beautiful breakout as it found this base down here. CCL again, very similar situation. This one, although it was very aggressive, it did give you a nice 5-minute open range breakout with a nice continuation. So that was nice there. After that, it just completely collapses and becomes very, very choppy. You do get a breakdown here below the VWAP as well, breaks the low of the day, and you get a possible continuation. And then from there, just kind of goes sideways. If you were able to get a good entry towards the bottom, you could have played a possible reversal here, but you were not going to get very far. It never did get back up to the VWAP. For the most part, for the entire day, just struggled to get up there. American Airlines also probably one of the most choppiest stocks we had on our watch list the entire morning, just struggling to do much here, just bouncing up and down, up and down. So again, good volume, but overall not a great intraday activity there for American Airlines. JP Morgan was a little bit better, a nice pop here, nice engulfing pattern towards the top. Someone asked yesterday in the YouTube chat, and thank you, John. One of our moderators for forwarding that to us. What is an engulfing pattern? And again, we have classes on this, but really quickly, what it basically is when you have this candle here that's red, right? So you have this red candle. It could be green as well. This is a long engulfing pattern, right? You want to go long on this one. You have this candle that's red. The next candle that opens up completely covers the previous candle, right? So right here, this candle is being covered. So that's basically an engulfing pattern. Usually when you see that on a higher time frame, I usually do not want to see that on the 1 minute or lower time frames could be very could trick you quite a bit. When you see that type of pattern on a 5, on a 15 or higher time frame, it usually indicates a change in direction, right? The buyers are taking control here. You could get it into an entry here. You can see how beautiful this thing popped up. So that is what an engulfing pattern is. So JP Morgan again had a nice engulfing at the open here, beautiful pop. Then it does get below the VWAP, cannot stay above the VWAP. This is a great possible opportunity here. Once you see that it is testing the VWAP, a great entry for sure. You can see how well that dropped, losing the low of the day again. And again, like many stocks in that mid between 11 to 1, 2 o'clock, just finding that base and trying to get back up to VWAP. JP Morgan does a good job of doing that there. Here's Apple. Apple was amazing, guy. Beautiful opening range breakdown here. Look at how nice this drop. Look how beautiful the continuation was. You have a really good drop here at the open. It does try to get above VWAP, and this is a false VWAP breakout. What that is struggling to get above the VWAP here on the 5. Every time it tries, you can see the sellers pushing this down, and eventually the sellers win. You can see how nice this thing drops, losing the low of the pre-market and giving you a bit of a continuation there as well. And as we mentioned, similar stuff between 11 and 2 o'clock. Just again, that sideways action, finding a base there. Workhorse was another one that we had on deck as well. Again, not as clean, but you did get a drop on here as well. Then it becomes pretty choppy between this time frame here. Not much you can do there. Eventually does lose it, but again, a tougher stock to trade. I was looking at this one closely for a trade, and yeah, again, I couldn't spot one on it. So it just didn't take one there. But my trade, guys, the one and done, and I saw a lot of great trades, and we had this one yesterday was Roku. Roku was the trade of the day yesterday for a lot of people. You can see here the beautiful drop, and actually my trade was not to the long side. My trade was to the short side. So I got a nice trade here to the short side, a good continuation. Got out before this started heading back up. But a lot of you took the move here towards the long side, which was amazing. Look at this play here, how great this was. Gets above VWAP and really takes off nicely, hitting the high of the day and just continuing. Like in the really never look back after that. So since we're talking about Roku, guys, I want to show you the trade of the day because the trade of the day yesterday is on Roku. And you can see this right here. Look at this beautiful trade for the two trades here. You got the short one there. He gets out and out at break even. That's a great way to protect your profits. And then he sees a change in direction here, regaining the VWAP. The volume coming in. So beautiful indicators happening here. He goes long, partials after his trade, partials again, and then partials all the way up. Just again, an amazing. This is a picture perfect trade on Roku. So great job there on the member trade of the day. All right, with that said, guys, let's go over to our market pulse, see what's happening this morning and what we have going on.
Yeah, man. SPY's up just a little bit this morning. Yesterday was the first day in like 4 that we had closed up from the previous day. So that's a little bit positive. We lost that 50 moving average that we've talked about on the SPY. So we'll see what happens here. It's trying to pull up to it a little bit. I do have a little bit of concern here that the sectors, at least when I looked at them a moment ago, and this has changed just a tiny bit, the sectors that were up were energy, utilities, and healthcare. And those are defensive sectors that you typically see people get into when they think that an overall pullback's coming and going to be fairly severe, maybe. So that gives me a little bit of pause. Since then, financials have ticked up just a little bit in consumer discretionary, but we'll see. It's we're kind of in a tenuous situation, tenuous spot here. So it's hard to tell exactly what's going to happen. Yesterday I kind of felt that trading was fairly choppy in the morning. There were some clean plays in there, but overall a little bit choppy, trying to find direction, trying to hang on and claw out some gains for the day. So should be interesting.
Absolutely should be, guys. So looking forward to see what's happening there. Let's get to our list, guys. We have a lot today. If you look on here, we have quite a bit in the green and in the red. So we'll try to do our best to get to the top 5 on each, and then we'll shoot it to you guys to see what you guys have on your end that you like this morning. So let's start by removing this list here, making some room. And we'll start with the green list this morning. So ACATET up 20%, 2.9 million shares flow. But I don't like what I'm seeing here, guys. Is this correct? This one? Yeah, it is. Again, horrible pre-market action, horrible daily. Again, nice drop here. We're down 20%, and we had a big gap before in here. But again, I'm not sure what's happening with this stock. Nothing looks great about this, so I'm going to completely move on down to the next one. Next one is
I
a
don't
good
know
one.
what I got to tell you, man. I don't know what the deal is with that stock. Well, I do and I don't. So they're not even listed in FinViz, and I'm not exactly sure why, because it's a NASDAQ listed company. I thought maybe it was an OTC or something. They had announced a secondary offering of 4.5 million shares when their float is 2.9. So more than 200% of they were going to increase by 3 times what their float was essentially. And then they came back this morning and said, we're not going to have the secondary after it caused their stock price to absolutely plummet. Wow. So a little bit funky.
Yeah, very. I mean, this stock was a couple of days ago trading at 110, and this drop brought it down to under 20. So, again, it's definitely one you want to stay away
No,
from.
thank you.
Yeah, you don't want to be a part of whatever these guys are doing. No thanks. Nike, though, great day for Nike. One of our members there, Mike, sent me a text yesterday. Hey, look at Nike's taking off. And yeah, look at this, guys, up 12% this morning, 477. Big pop last night on earnings, I believe, or not even earnings. It was just sales, right?
No, they had earnings. They had earnings last night. They beat top and bottom lines. They've had a substantial amount of their revenues move to online business, and they just blew the estimates out of the water. So
Yeah, so doing pretty good today. Now, not, Nike is one of those stocks that doesn't trade well on a regular basis, but when they do have news, they do trade very well. So hopefully today could be one of those days where we see it and do some stuff here. WDC guys, oh, hold on, let me add Nike to our list, definitely on there. WDC, this one does not have a great pre-market. This is Western Digital, another one that could be a hit or miss. Do they have any news worth watching? Because I know they trade better with a catalyst. For the most part, they're not great at intraday trading.
Yeah, I think they had a new product launch, but they also had an upgrade this morning. So,
Okay. I'm gonna put them as a possible. Reason why is I like the daily, but I do not like the pre-market action right now. I think it can look a lot better. It's just barely cracking over 100,000 shares at the moment. But aside from that, if you look at the actual price activity, we're not getting anything great on it at the moment. So we'll see. The daily looks somewhat decent. Also, possible breakout here. We're testing this area of a possible resistance. Hopefully, we got a chance at that if we can get up there. That's the last time we got down. We saw a nice big drop there. YNDX, this one had a good day yesterday. Let's see what it did here. So quiet for the most first part of the day. Then later on, around 1 o'clock or so, you got this volume coming in, and it just started trucking north here. So interesting. Not sure what made that action happen there, but today they're up 4%. Pre-market action is okay, not great. Possible continuation. Norm, what's the news that broke out yesterday? If you have that info,
uh,
YNDX.
yep. So they're buying another company. It was announced yesterday, or at least they're in discussions to uh, Tinkoff Bank. So these are foreign companies. I'm not quite sure what is going on there, but that's the news.
Yep. So YNDX, yeah, and keep in mind YNDX. I'm glad you mentioned that it is a foreign company as well. It is not a US based company or whatever the case may be. But they tend to trade a whole lot better than when we see other foreign companies like BP or so. We've seen them trade very
Yeah.
well. So we'll see. We'll keep them on here for now. We'll see what we can get out of that. All right, let's take a look at the next one here. SAVA. This one is it's a tricky stock. It's sitting at 22 million shares traded. The last couple of days, I mean, they gapped up, consolidated, gapped up again, and like they're kind of heading north here. Pre-market action looks horrible. Yesterday they had a red day. What did that look like? Yesterday seemed like a pretty good day for intraday traders here. So that looked like it traded very well. This is a hit or miss stock, so I'm going to put as a possible. We'll see what's cooking on this one in a second. What do we have here? It does not look great. Recent IPO looks like. I'm not
I believe
liking.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, recent IPO only have 3 4 days here of trading. I don't like the pre-market right now. It's not a whole lot of information on here. And looking at some of the intraday plays, obviously the first day was great. You see that there, a couple of good days. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about this one, guys. I am going to keep it off to the side for now. If that pre-market gets better, maybe we could look at it. But again, I'm not sure what to do on this one. Twitter, for the most part, we are up 2.1 this morning. So nice big day for Twitter yesterday. Today they're up another 2%. So worth keeping on here. I do like the way their daily sitting on there. Nor many news on Twitter.
Yes, sir. They got a price target upgrade, and I lost it. So hang on just a second. They
Yep.
got an upgrade and increased price target out of Pivotal Research from 36 to 59 and 75 cents.
All right.
I don't.
Uh,
It's not very often you see somebody come out with something that's not even a whole dollar. Why?
Yeah, I no, I don't understand that either. So we'll keep Twitter on here, guys. Again, I like the daily on it. I like that we're testing this possible. Is that all? That's not all time high, is it? No, no, it's not. No, they got some. We've been up here before. So we'll keep it on here. I do like Twitter when it's in play. It does trade very well. Their volume today is very light though. Twitter is known for having very big volume, even in pre-market when they're looking to be very active. So we're not seeing that today, but does not mean they're not going to have a good day. Plug is horrible, guys. I keep this off my list. Just going to move on to the next one. J and J, real quick. Not a whole lot. It's up 2%, but for me, this stock is very difficult to trade. It's not an easy stock to trade, so I'm going to keep it off my list for now. And we have MU. I wanted to get to MU, see what's going on there. MU is pre-market not looking great. We do have a pop of 2.1. Again, just MU is not the same as it used to be. But do we have any news on MU? That would be the question on here. Do we have anything that will probably want us to keep this on deck at all? MU here. Let's see. I
They
don't know if you
report
have.
earnings next week.
Hmm.
This one just popped up in the last
Yeah.
few minutes,
Yeah, I
so
saw that. Hmm.
I hadn't looked at it previously. I don't see anything especially fresh or interesting. It's possible I just don't have it yet. So
Got it. So I'm gonna put it as a possible because again, it doesn't look great. I mean, the daily looks a little bit interesting. You know, they had a big drop over the last couple of weeks, man. They've been really getting banged up here. They're trying to get going. So we'll see if there's any juice that's gonna be left today for this to keep going here. All right, let's see what's gapping down. Let's go over a few of these. WVE not looking all that. Actually, no, this looks good. This looks good. Nice drop here. Volume is lighter than usual. This is 29.3, so it's not a low flow stock, a little bit higher. Pre-market looks okay. Yeah, we're worth watching, I guess. Worth watching. I'm on the fence
no,
on it because you see these
no,
stocks
it's not.
sometimes. It's not all right. Give me something. There's something on this stock. I can feel it.
It's a biotech out of Singapore with a secondary offering. You
There you
got
go.
you got three strikes on it.
There you go. You see, it's just I knew something about it. I couldn't commit 100%, but you found it, Norman. Something about the stock didn't feel right, and that's it. So let's get this out of here. All right, let's get that out the way. ACB down 17% today. This stock is again just been getting slammed pretty bad here. They don't trade the way they used to. So although they're down 16, 17%, it's not really a whole lot when you're when you're sitting at $6, right? But looking at this, looks like they had some action happening yesterday. Maybe something went wrong on earnings or big drop.
Something went wrong.
Something went wrong.
Something went wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, earnings. You are correct. They had earnings. They are losing money hand over fist. So they're getting
Yeah.
smoked on that news.
Yeah. Um, Again, great catalyst, guys. Good volume, down 17%. I'm not gonna add it to my main list because even though that's the numbers, everything looks good here. It doesn't trade well anymore, at least not for me. But we'll add it on here. We do have shares for sure on it, which is great. So that's a positive there. Let's see this pre-market action can get better. Again, it took a big hit already last night. Does it have more downside to it? We'll have to wait and see. Again, this thing has been just getting killed over the last couple of months. Really has not really had any upside to it. Here is the Stitch. So Stitch, it is down big, guys, 15.1. Again, earnings last night as well as you can see here, nice huge drop for them. Obviously that not a good look for these guys. Norm, what's going on with them?
Sorry, I was looking at something. I apologize. Which one are you
No
talking
worries.
about? On Stitch Fix?
Stitch, yeah.
Yep, they're losing money hand over fist.
Yep.
So
So
they had earnings. They had earnings last night, and
yeah.
their earnings are terrible. So they got smoked on that.
Yeah, their daily looked very interesting here. Nice breakout yesterday, giving all that back and then some losing this level of support. So I like the way the day looks here for a possible downside play if that's what we're going to do today. Pre-market's not looking great though. It's got to get better. Hopefully that happens as we get closer to the market open. GMAB, this one
No,
here looks like garbage. I could tell by the pre-market and the daily, very choppy. Foreign?
it Denmark biotech.
Okay. All right. So let's move along here, guys. If you're wondering why we don't like to trade these companies, they just don't trade very well. And the volume, look at the volume, how light it is. What is this average of 800,000, if that, maybe 600,000 per day? That's not great volume. That's not anything you want to be trading. And let's show you what it looks like. Look at yesterday. Look how it traded yesterday. You see this gaps in here. You don't want no part of a stock that looks like that. So let's avoid that and move somewhere else. And NOX is this one actually not bad. What did it do yesterday? I know we looked at it for a couple of days. It kept losing levels here. It got close to their IPO. This was back on yesterday. Did they do anything? Yeah, nice, somewhat of a decent comeback yesterday. Today, possible continuation, but their pre-market looks very light. They're down 5.3. I don't like the daily action. I'm sorry, the pre-market action. I do like the daily action for a possible continuation. So if you like this one, you can put it in as a possible for now. I'm not going to have it on my main list though. All right, guys, I'm going to stop there. I will look at BLNK. I know this was crazy yesterday. What did it end up doing here? Oh, okay, it came back down. So now it's down 4.2. So no activity there. That does not look great as far as Um, as far as the pre-market action, Tesla obviously they had their battery day yesterday, taking a bit of a hit
They got
um,
smoked last night on their
last
battery day
night. Look at
news.
this. Yeah, so that is not
Jared,
good.
Jared, Jared texted the group and what did he say? Tesla's falling from the sky or something.
Yeah, I remember that. So again, just not doing well, guys. Here they're active today, 3.2 million shares traded. They're down 3.6. But it's funny, we are talking about this in our chat room after the pre-market, after Andrew and Brian were done trading live, how this is a very quality stock, so you never know. You never know. It's like Apple. People love this company, and they'll buy. They'll just buy, buy, buy. So we'll see. Not saying this takes anything or that you should go long because it dropped a little bit here, but it's one of those stocks that when you just think it's going to fall off the face of the earth, it comes right back up. So difficult to trade though. I am noticing that it's very difficult to trade. I'm going to put Tesla here as a possible this morning. If you have had some good success on it, that is one you want to have on your list today because today's going to be interesting on what we're going to do with Tesla. If this daily looks horrible, you can see the consolidation happening here between a 461 and 408, right? We've been bouncing resistance, support, and now we're at the support level again. Let's see what's going to happen here. We're going to lose this moving average of this support level price target, or we're going to bounce from there. All right, guys, that's what we have. Norm, what do you like this morning that might not be on this list?
I'm still looking, my man.
Okay, gotcha.
Nice pause to the room.
Yeah, I just thought about Roku. Roku, I'm gonna add Roku because the way Roku has been trading the last couple of days is amazing. They only have 40,000 shares right now, but man, I am glad to not pass up on Roku yesterday. So I'm gonna keep this one on my list this morning. All right, let's go to the room. What do we have here? I know Vicky sent something really earlier. Vic, please send that ticker again because you did it too early. I can't scroll all the way back. Let's start with David from Connecticut. INO. I know here we are losing this consolidation
Yeah,
wedge,
that looked
right?
that wedge looked great for a breakout, and
Yeah,
it just I'll tell you the telling thing yesterday is it popped the high and then just immediately sold off.
right, right.
When it couldn't hold above, I think it was 1850 ish,
Mm-hmm.
plus or minus a few
Yeah,
cents. It popped above that, and then just like there was no momentum, no follow
right,
through.
right.
So now they're getting smoked because J&J is going into phase 3 clinical trials,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to have a few of these vaccine companies that have a vaccine distributed in all likelihood. It won't be one and the rest are left out, but a good
Mm-hmm.
amount of these are going to be left out. So we'll see.
Yeah, so again, here, guys, just taking a nice drop. I do like the pre-market action this morning. Good volume, beautiful action here. You can see how great this is trading. Yeah, let's keep an eye on this one, guys. It's going for today. All right, let's go over to who do we have next? Mary Kay, AMD pre-market, good volume. Yeah, 1.1 million shares traded. That is great volume. Now, although that is great volume, look at the way that their pre-market action is being traded, though. Very bad for that type of volume. So that tells me there's a lot of block trades happening within this action here. That's where we're getting that 1.1 because we've seen AMD with, with less than that, 600,000, 700,000, give us a beautiful pre-market activity. So, but we'll add AMD on here. I'm going to add as a possible because the volume is great, but the pre-market, I'm not convinced on it with that type of volume. Should be a lot cleaner. Let's look at UAL today. What do we have here? Very choppy at the moment. I don't think this is in play for the most part, so I'm not going to be watching this one. I don't
Yeah,
like the daily as much neither. Neither is Delta or any of the other
I'm not seeing anything.
travel company. Just check and see if there's anything we're missing. But no, I'm not seeing that. CCL.
CCL,
Hmm.
and NCL. Well, NCLH still is. CCL was on the list earlier. Not looking that
Yeah.
great though.
Yeah, it's really not looking all that great. It's just bouncing right there below that two up 2%, and volume is a little bit lighter too. So we know about those stocks how great they can trade, guys. What we could look for now is keep an eye on the SPY, keep an eye on the scanners. If you start seeing the SPY heavily go into one direction, these stocks can follow because they're very driven right now by what the market does. And keep an eye on the scanners. If you start seeing United, Delta, American, you know something is happening with the airlines, and you can switch over to these travel companies, travel tickers. So we'll skip on those for now. Tesla we have on there. So we'll skip on CCL and American Airlines. J and J, we've been talking about this one here. Yeah, you know what? It is active. The reason I took it off my list, and maybe I'll add it back on just to do levels. I know a lot of you guys will be watching it. For me, it is a very difficult stock to trade. It doesn't trade very clean. That could be the difference today, though. I'm starting to see this pre-market look a little bit better than what we had yesterday. If we can break out of here, it would be nice. But for the most part, this stock just doesn't trade all that clean. But again, today could be the difference. Um, all right, what else we have? SRNE. I see a lot of people throwing that one out. SRNE, and we'll be quick because I see it's already 9:02 here. SRNE, not a great pre-market action, guys. Good volume, not clean pre-market. Looks very choppy. Yesterday, look at SRNE. It's not a clean trading stock. Look at the market open, just chopping around here, not doing much, and then you get this. I mean, what just happens here out of nowhere? This volume comes in, right? Something funky about the stock. Now, looking at a bigger time frame, the daily does look very gray here. Possible continuation there. As you can see, we consolidated above this 922.
That SRNE that you're talking about, that
Yeah.
is up on. They've got a cancer pain epidural drug
Hmm.
that had some. I believe I don't have it pulled up right now, but I think it was
Yeah.
some positive interim clinical trial results. So
All right. So again, that could explain some of this volume yesterday. But I'm not seeing anything great in the pre-market right now, guys. I mean, I'll put it as a possible. We'll check it again, but I'm not seeing anything good. The daily does look good, though. I do like what's happening there. All right, guys. I was just want to take a few from YouTube here. Piton. All right, I see that on both chats. Let's do that one. Piton this morning, right back up here, up 1.4. I like the daily on Piton. Do not like the pre-market, but the daily does look interesting. I know Brian took an amazing short a couple of days ago on this one. I believe it was yesterday. But again, that looks good. Let's put that on there. WVE, we looked at that. That was not a good one, so we're gonna skip on that one. Uh, pick PIC. No, this is not great, guys. I don't like the daily on this, and the pre-market doesn't look great neither. All right, one last one, guys. What do we have here? Netflix. No volume on Netflix. Let's end with a good one. Let's see SQ. Let's not end with that. SQ is not looking great neither. All right, Nvidia. Come on, guys. Let's look for the lottery ticket here. Nvidia.
that's all over the place.
Yeah, it's not good neither. You know what? We just end it there. And nothing else is looking all that great. INO. One last one. Jair is good. Oh yeah, we looked at INO. INO is good, guys. We definitely have INO on our list. All right, guys. Let's go over to our announcements. We'll come back and fine tune this list.
All right, I'm gonna go quick because, as he said, we're running behind. Can you rewind a slide there, bud? No, other way. Other way.
Yep. Here
Next.
we go.
There we go.
Yep.
Guys, tonight on YouTube, streamed live on YouTube and in the Lifetime webinar room here for members, Andrew is going to be talking about his own personal style of trading, what he does the most, momentum trading at the open, Scalper's Guide to Opening Range Breakouts. So if you're not a member, you will be able to catch that on YouTube. Hope you enjoy it. Then next week, we're going to be talking about Mark Randall's going to be talking about the collection of the worst trades he's ever seen from his long history in trading. Mike's Module 3 was last night, should be posted in the Education Center, the Psychology Center soon, excuse me. And the next week, Nate is going to be talking about getting intimate with our thoughts and emotions. Bring your candles. Member trade of the day, trade of the week. We are giving an iPhone, top of the line iPhone away every week, or at least the ability to do so. The rules are changing here a bit, guys, so refer to the what you have to do in order to claim the iPhone if you win the trade of the week. Trying to make it a little bit easier, I think. But check the forum post they'll put up. The way you get in that is you win the trade of the day. The way you get in the trade of the day is you take a screenshot of your best trade, you mark it up and post it on Twitter with your entries, exits, strategy, rationale, why you got in, why you got out, why you partialed, why you added, all that great stuff. Tag at Bearable Traders, at Mike B_BBT, and at Norm BBT. Also use hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market on that. Winner will be announced in the closing bell show every day, and then the winner for the week will be announced on the Monday closing bell show and on Twitter. And yeah. Watching us on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you can do so for a discount. Use the promo code premarket24. That'll get you a discount off the intro membership. That is a non-renewing, non-changing into any other kind of membership. It is just 7 days, seven calendar days, 5 trading days, including Carlos's 8 p.m. Eastern onboarding class that's live every Monday night. And then it's over after that. And then if you're looking to either upgrade your membership or become a lifetime member, use the promo code FALL35. That'll get you 35% off.
All right, thank you very much, Norm. Guys, let's get to our list here. Let's start with Nike. Nike looks good. I definitely like what I'm seeing there. A nice pre-market action. Looks like we might be losing or creating at least a new law of the day. We lost the law of the pre-market already, creating a new law of the pre-market here, but that is trading very well. We have a nice big gap up here this morning. Let's see if that's going to hold or we're going to get a little bit back today. YNDX, I'm on the fence on this one. I know it can trade very well. Pre-market is looking okay, could be better. We are seeing some volume coming in here. It was up a lot higher, now only 2.2. Let's see how that's going to develop in a few minutes here. Twitter pre-market is still not looking great, guys. We might just sit on this for a little bit. Had a great day yesterday. I'm hoping that this is going to get better and give us some opportunity. So I'm going to keep it on here. We're also getting close to this area of resistance up here on 44.12 from a couple of weeks ago. I want to see how that's going to react if we do decide to test that. Stitch had bad news, so they are down 14%, a big drop last night. This morning, pre-market still not looking all that great, but again, they have a catalyst behind it. They're down quite a bit. I'm expecting that we're going to get some movement out of them. Roku's volume is horrible. This is usually typically, if your stock looks like this pre-market, we're not going to watch it, but we know Roku is going to give us an opportunity to trade nice because it just always does. Even with a bad pre-market action. So yesterday was great. The day before that was great as well. Let's see what it wants to do today. INO has a great pre-market action. We'll keep that one. And J&J, I'm going to move down. It's just, again, as much as I want to try to give this stock a chance, I'm just reminded how difficult it is to trade. On the possibles, we have Piton, which I'm possibly can move up because I like the way this daily setting up. Might be better than some of the stuff we have in here. Might actually be better than YNDX, to be honest. I'm gonna move Piton up. This stock is hot right now. It's on everybody's radar. Everybody's thinking, talking about it. I think we'll move YNDX down. And we'll keep Piton in here. I think Piton is a better stock to watch for the open. They could be very explosive as they have been over the last couple of days. So J&J down here, AMD, we're going to keep on here. Great volume, but not great pre-market action. SAV, I have it here, but I know I'm not going to look at this. I'm not even going to probably have that in mind at all. WDC, we give it a little chance here. Still, the pre-market's not looking great. They're up 4.7 with some new products being released, but it's still not looking great. So let's remove it from our secondary list here. MU starting to look pretty good here. Oh, let's see what MU wants to do if it's going to truck up higher. ACB has, again, some really bad news, down 15%, but this stock hasn't been trading well. We'll give it a little more room here. NNOX, I'm going to remove. Doesn't look good right now, pre-market. Tesla looks great. I'm keeping it here in case you'd like to trade Tesla. You can have that, but for the most part, I find Tesla a little bit difficult to trade. And SRNE, another possible as well. We'll fine tune it even more a little later. Let's get to levels, guys. Nike here, high of the pre-market sitting at a 132. The low of the pre-market sitting at 130. 27, 132.98, by the way, almost 133 basically. And then from there you have this huge drop, right? This big gap here. Your next level of support is going to be over at 120. Now, is this all-time high for Nike? It looks like it is. Yes. Yep. Yep, all-time high for Nike. So nice way to we're coming in here with a nice bang to make that new all-time high. So looking good here, guys. We have no information here, no levels, no history. You can go into your after hours action. You do have a nice little area here, maybe 127.87. Do not put a lot of weight into this one. It is an after hours with low volume being traded. So again, just use it as somewhat of a reference in case you do have a nice drop here. 127, you can have some buyer step in, or if you lose that, you can continue to drop to the next level. So use it as some possible indicators, but don't put a whole lot of weight as you would to the pre-market low, pre-market high, and some of these other daily levels that are really good here. So Nike here, NKE doing very well, definitely on top of my list. Twitter starting to get going, 333, high of the pre-market, 43.95. What Twitter needs, they need to have good volume. If they don't have great volume, they don't trade well. They can be very, very choppy. So I'll be looking for very high volume on this stock. Even with the news and everything they have going on, they need to have some pretty good volume. So towards the bottom, the low of the pre-market, pretty much towards the high of yesterday, previous day close. Not much in between here. Maybe where the price action is at now, you do have two things on here. 43.61. This is the close of this day here, the previous close of this day here, and you also have somewhat of support happening in the pre-market with a light volume though. So again, that's a minor support level, not a major one. There's not a lot of information for you to go on when it comes to that level. Here is SFIX. This one is, again, big drop yesterday. Right now, pre-market action is just going sideways. For the most part, high of your pre-market, very close to the low of 2 days ago. Right there, 27.10, just 10 cents below that, or 5 cents. That's a good area of support, guys. We talked about this earlier. You can see the ping pong action between 29.34 and 27.10. Back and forth in here. We're below that area of support, so that's good. Let's see if that's going to hold it down, or we're going to go back up here. Low of the pre-market, 21.85, which also a great price target, price level. Look how many times this thing has been tested before in this daily. By the way, they have a beautiful daily chart here. Look at this. This is an amazing daily chart. When we talk about a bad daily, it will be something like this, like between June and July. That's a horrible daily. This is an amazing daily. Between July and September, that is very, very clean. Hopefully that continues here. We got some pretty good levels there. 25.81 low of the pre-market. Also some resistance levels tested there in the past. Below that, I have another level down here at 24.85. You also have a moving average slightly above that. So looking good here. I like what I'm seeing here. The only thing that's not looking great is the pre-market action, but it could be because we had such a big drop yesterday. So let's see if that gets better as we get going. Here is Roku this morning. Again, two really bang up days, man, for Roku. They are trading amazing. And if you look at both of them, their pre-market starts pretty much like this, with almost nothing happening. So low of the pre-market on this one, 191.53. Let's mark that down. The high of the pre-market, pretty close to the high of yesterday. I think that's going to be a more important level. We talked about this. This action here at 8 o'clock, that's creating the high of the pre-market right in here. This is not as important, right? Because this is just transactions being posted. So you don't want to put a lot of weight on that. I'm going to keep this level here and use that as my high of the pre-market, or the next level of possible resistance. This doesn't mean much here. All right, as far as that, highs and lows got you covered, guys. Not much else going on here. Maybe you want to mark down this level here, 185.53, in case we decide to drop this here. But again, Roku has been very strong the last couple of days. Here is INO, so low of the pre-market for these guys, 15.70 right now. Again, we lost our daily wedge we had going on here against that 19 level, 18.70. Yesterday we had a breakdown on that. You can see the reaction. As far as levels, highs and lows are surrounding you here towards the top. You got a nice area of resistance up there above the price action. And then your pre-market high, pretty much next to the previous day close. I'm going to put a lot more weight on that previous day close line, especially because the pre-market high is being done at a time with a lot less volume, right? So that previous day close is more important than the pre-market high at this point. And then above that, this is a minor level of support resistance. I'm going to put this on here, 17.87. The reason I like this one, you have this week here, you have a couple of days opening and closing around that area. Also, if we break out at this 17 previous day close, to get to 1850 is quite a bit. 1787 could be a good area to kind of have on your list there just in case. And this beautiful level, 14.92. Look how great that is. I'm going off this day here, but you can see if you go back a couple of weeks, look how great that area has been as resistance. So you want to have that 14.92 there in case we lose that low off the pre-market there. Piton, guys, again, pre-market's a little quiet right now, but I love the daily on it. I think it has some potential. I'm going to mark down this one here, 98.40, the high of these 2 days right on here. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days pretty much got you covered here, guys. You can add your low of your pre-market, which also you can see it. You can see more confirmation on that 91.87 over here, resistance, resistance, resistance. So again, you want to have that on there as well as a major level in case we do decide to go red and test that. So that is what we have. I think we have a pretty good list. Cannot wait to see what our moderators have on their lineup list. Let's take a look. Where is that? Here we go. So let's take a look at what they're watching today. Here is John, high of day break. As usual, his top list is going to be Roku. I cannot agree more with that. That stock looks amazing. Thor's watching Nike, Piton, KBH, J&J, and Facebook. Mike will be watching Break of High Scanners, Nike, Piton, and Facebook. Jared has Tesla, INO, and Nike. Also, he's watching the Qs and Tesla as well. Brian likes Nike, Stitch, NNOX, MU. Oh yeah, MU. Did I have MU on my list? I know MU looked good. Yeah, I have it as a possible here, because they do have potential. They look pretty. I know you're looking at the pre-market action, you're like, how can that look great? But there's something about the daily here, and the way MU's been trading, that this has some good potential there. He also has a workhorse, WKHS, and SPI for funds. That must be a low flow, risky stock. So just be careful.
Penny stock.
Penny stock. Yes, just be careful with that one. That is moving today, man. I see it right. I'm looking at it right now, different screen. 18 million shares traded right now, up 245%.
Yeah.
So if you've been holding this for a couple of years at $1, now is the time to cash out. Do not wait. All right, and it's just kidding. No advice, guys. No advice. Tiffany is watching Nike, INO, Tesla, secondary Roku, Workhorse, and MU. Eamon likes Eni or as INO. INO, I believe. Yeah. Has to be INO. Yeah, I just checked.
Yep.
It's not a ticker. Yep. Neo, Tesla, and Apple as well. So pretty good list there for Eamon. And Brian just sent a text message here in the alerts in the chat. Do not forget about NNOX, no shares to short. So we'll be adding that to his list as well. All right, guys. I think we have a pretty good list today. Let me bring it up over here. I think we have a pretty nice list. Nike, Twitter, SFix, Roku is probably one of my favorites, although it does not look like one right now. INO looks great, and Piton. So looking forward to today, guys. Trade safe. Reminder: we are live today. Well, Andrew's live today on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you do watch us and join us for that. It's going to be a great success webinar event, and we will see you tonight, and then we will see you tomorrow. Take care, guys. Trade safe, and goodbye.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.